All right, let's get into it. Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, so this is my presentation. I'm going to be doing it on Captain Harlock from Space Pirate Captain Harlock versus Cobra from Space
Oh,
Adventure Cobra.
this is on Ballot Banner like 2 days ago, right? Or like last
Yeah.
week ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We
I
talked
put
about
I
this.
put
This
this on
success.
to
Yeah, yeah.
gauge. Yeah, I put this on to gauge some interest
Oh,
before.
that's so cool.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit like to prepare for this. I hope you guys will enjoy this. I've got a couple. I
Yeah.
had a lot of people helping me. Yeah, the cool thing about this matchup. Well, first of all, before we start, I am recording this.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
hopefully OBS doesn't glitch out because that would suck. But I'm recording this. OBS says it's recording on it. It's looking at my screen. That's good. All right. So, yeah. So first of all, let's start with Cobra. Cobra is the main character of the 1978 manga Space Adventure Cobra. He is essentially like a Japanese, like James Bond type character. He's based explicitly. He's based on Han Solo and James Bond. So, what this means for this character is that he's like an incredibly like cocky, free-spirited, like kind of a jerk sometimes, but he's also like a womanizer, and he's all around like a really cool character. And one of the interesting
Minus the womanizing, obviously.
no, okay, yeah, he's not like womanizing like James Bond is, where it's like James Bond will have like that scene where like the lady, like the assassin that was trying to kill him, like took the bullet for him. No, he actually like kind of like cares a little more. It's more like a facade that he puts on, but it's still like kind of like a James Bond esque like type thing. He isn't like a horn dog like a Rio from like City Hunter or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the series, he is this like space pirate who went into hiding for several years after catching the attention of the Pirates Guild. The Pirates Guild is like the main enemy of the series. They're these gigantic. They're basically a giant pirate mafia. Like Cobra himself describes the pirates as like not real pirates because they're essentially just like a giant like yakuza mafia mob type thing. While he is a pirate who lives free, takes what he wants, and like saves whoever he wants and kills whoever he wants. And
So he's non-union pirate.
yeah, he's not like a like a usual type of pirate. So that is like an important aspect of the series. But also the Pirates Guild, I always find this really funny. But like the main villains of the series is like the villains is like the main guy is like literally just like Hitler, who's like the series takes place in the year 5000, by the way. So 3000 years after like World War II, Hitler's immortal soul, who continues to want to like conquest everything, is just like ruling this pirate guild thing. And then after Cobra kills him, like halfway through the story, like the guy who steps up is like another like the main villain and most popular, whose name is Crystal Bowie, and he's explicitly based off David Bowie. He's a giant
Sick.
like golden skeleton based off like Golden Bat, who has a giant claw hand, and he's like since he's like made of crystal, Cobra's Psychogun doesn't work on it. This thing, by the way, is like so important to just like Japanese media as a whole and to his like character. I'll get into it in a second. But just like for the record, this guy alone, if he didn't exist, like Devil May Cry and Metroid would not exist. Like this is
Yeah.
stated in an interview. Like Kamiya when making Dante was like, I wanted to make the coolest character ever, so I based him off Cobra. So yeah, that's that. And then Samus is like explicitly based off like
Yeah.
like combined designs of like three characters from the series. It's Cobra, Lady Armoroid, and Dominique. So yeah, getting to his feats, I'm gonna be talking about his like himself and his ship, which you can see back here. It's the turtle. So a couple of his like notable feats here is that in the movie he like when he got captured, he got put into a gigantic like ice prison, which freezes its like the prisoners in place, so they have like no chance to escape. And it's explicitly stated to be negative 400 degrees Celsius. And despite this, he's able to break out and still have like enough strength to move to punch through like the steel wall of like the spaceship where he's in. And the spaceship's on land, so he's able to escape by doing that. And like that's like real, and that's like unbearably cold. That's like colder than like any place on Earth. So that's a really crazy thing. And with the Psychogun, he was able to. The Psychogun is incredibly powerful. It like varies rapidly in power. It sometimes goes from like a normal kind of like street tier type weapon to like a planet like level like destroying thing, depending on like the story it's in. Like for example, when he was fighting Crystal Bowie states that this like door that he melts through with the Psychogun's blast is like tough enough to withstand nuclear bomb fire. So the fact that he's able to like blast through that with a giant like with a light gun is just like shows that how like crazy his like power is. But aside from the Psychogun itself, he has a couple of other like important like gadgets on him. One of the main ones you can see here that he has a cigar, right? Well, the cigar is one of like his like it's like a bag of tricks. It's like a James Bond gadget where it he has like three main ones. He has a flashlight one, which he uses to see through dark places. A cigar that has like that is a respirator, so it allows him to breathe underwater, and also and since his body is tough enough to withstand the vacuum of space, to breathe in space, because he can just like live out there. There's like a latch on the top of his ship, like right here, this golden part, where he can just like step out of it and then like fire against other ships by itself. So that's and then the last one is just like a general like explosive, which when he throws, he can put a timer on it, and even one cigar is incredibly powerful, able to blow up an entire skyscraper. So those are like basic gadgets he has, but even him himself is really powerful. Such as like the time he defeated like literal Satan. He defeats Satan in the series. Well, it's like alien creature that is like a biblically like looking Satan creature that feeds off fear. And his mental strength is so powerful that the Satan creature really wanted to like kill him so he could like eat the fear and evolve into like a higher being. And it made him relive like the first moment he ever felt fear in his life. So it shows how like tough his mental strength is to defeat this like character. And aside from Cobra himself, his ship is also incredibly powerful. I'll be talking a lot about the ships when we get to them, especially the Arcadia with Harlock. But the turtle, while less story important than the Arcadia, is incredibly powerful. It is stated to be able to survive in the gravity and heat of stars for an extended period of time. And one of the two most interesting things about it is that this shape that it has, it can like shift into like another shape. So it has like a snake form. So it's like it's able to like you know how the Power Rangers like attach to each other, like the Megazords like attach to each other into like the different body parts to transform. Like the ship like moves and like shifts into another shape, so it can transform into like a compact, like faster, like evasive ship. It can transform into a snake-looking like ship that allows it to bob and weave through like gunfire and and like cannons from spaceships. And those are all like the transformations it has. But aside from that, one of the other things that it can do is the ship itself, despite also being able to like move throughout the galaxy, like move light speed, is able to just completely stop in its inertia for like half a second. So like imagine it's like if it were a car like driving down the street at like 50 miles an hour, like the car would like stop for like half a second and then it wouldn't lose any momentum whatsoever. So he uses that to like evade enemy gunfire from like ships that are trying to predict where he's like shooting. All around, it's a very like evasive ship, which I think lends itself well to Captain Harlock and the Arcadia. So, starting off with Captain Harlock is the main character of the 1977 manga Space Pirate Captain Harlock. But aside from that, he's also essentially like the main character of the entire like Leiji and Matsumoto like universe. It's basically like one of like the first major like crossover, like in the same vein that like DC or Marvel will have like different series that are serialized separately, but all the characters are in the same like world and universe. Like the Leijiverse is kind of like the first major like anime example of like that, where other series like Space Battleship Yamato, Galaxy Express 999 will like the characters will appear in and out of those series, and they will reflect, and then you'll see them like interact with other characters and interact with the world. And aside from that, being the main character of the series, he's also like generally just one of the most influential like anime characters like ever made. Like, I think in like my opinion, aside from Lupin the Third, Harlock's definitely like the biggest character, like most influential like anime character you guys have like never used like before.
Yeah.
Like everything ever is influenced by this guy. Like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Gurren Lagann. Yeah, like Simone's design is based off like Harlock's design. Cowboy Bebop, Vicious is based off like Harlock there. I didn't even mention with Cobra, like Spike's Spiegel is partially based off like Cobra and like Clint Eastwood, so that's like another partial one there. But then there's also other funny ones like Lars from Steven Universe. Like there's that episode where he's like a space captain, and because this guy is like a Tumblr like popular on Tumblr, like he was like put into his designs like there too. I think it's really funny. But getting onto the arcade,
I think we're a little bit more, or quite a bit more familiar with Harlock. So just for the sake of time, we might blast through a little bit of Harlock here.
Yeah,
and focus on Cobra stuff, but you do you.
Yeah, that's understandable. So yeah, one of the key aspects, like character-wise, that I think is interesting between like the two characters is like Harlock's relationship with Tochiro Oyama, who is the creator of the Arcadia. Now, the Arcadia, one of the key aspects of the Arcadia in the Harlock story is that Tochiro dies after creating it. It's like his final masterpiece, and his soul kind of infuses with the ship. So the ship is sentient, right? And like Harlock's reaction to like his friend like passing away is one of like depression and like survivor's guilt. It's like heavily implied within the original series that he has some kind of survival's guilt, like against Tochiro dying, against like Tochiro's daughter Mayu getting captured by the space aliens, and that reflects very well with Cobra. Because Cobra, when you look at these two characters, you think, oh, Harlock's the serious guy, and then Cobra's like the kind of like the silly, goofy one. And while Harlock's also like really serious generally, he's probably like the happier person of the two. Like all of his like his like spaceships filled, like all the pirate crew members are like young kids and like old old disabled people who got like outcasts from Earth and stuff. While Cobra while he's like puts up like a happier face, it's more of a facade that he puts up intentionally within like the story. And one of like the most important aspects of the story is that when the Psychogun was breaking, he was like he like considers like the Psychogun like part of himself, even though he got it when he lost his arm to Crystal Bowie. Like the Psychogun breaking in his eyes meant like the end of his own life. And and when it actually did break, he like committed to himself that he wouldn't go to kill anymore, and that he would give up like killing in the space pirate life. But then he got brought back in when someone close to him got killed, and he got a replacement Psychogun to like finish them off. And
very Freudian.
Yeah, it's a very like Freudian aspect there. And I think that's what makes like this like matchup, this is a legacy matchup, like so unique, because both of these characters came out around the same time. They're both like pretty much before Luffy came out, they were like the biggest like pirate series like pretty much like ever. So this like has like a great like deal of legacy, to the point that both of these franchises are incredibly popular in like France and Italy. If you like look up like their names together, you'll find like countless fan art of like the characters interacting together. I have like a folder of it on my computer, but that we probably don't have the time. But they're like so like intrinsically like tied at the hip, like through like the which people like them, that it's kind of impossible for me to like suggest other matchups for the characters, even though they have like good alts in my opinion. But that's so I really am glad that like this legacy matchup, I'm able to present this legacy matchup that's very popular in Europe, but like not very much. It basically kind of went completely under the radar for the American side, because like these series did not like release in America for like the longest time, so they kind of just like evaded everything. So how do I think the fight would play out? So one of the most interesting like aspects about I didn't go over the feats for Harlock. Yeah, so both of these characters are, I would say, generally scale from around like street tier to planet level if you like scale them to the highest ends. Like for example, with Harlock, he blew up a tree that was like that was stated to be so tall it could go above the clouds, and his Cosmo Dragoon, which is his sidearm. It's not shown here. This is his Galaxy Saber, but he has the sidearm, which was also made by Toshiro Oyama, and was directly compared to an entire mechanized Empire's military force. And the Arcadia itself is also like definitely like planet like level. It was able to tank a laser, which was stated to be able to like blow up the planet, and it was able to fly across the Milky Way galaxy in under a minute. So both of these like ships are incredibly fast. They're both like arguably like planet level. So I think this matchup would be really close, and I think the way it would play out is really interesting. So one aspect I would really like about the battle, one of the most interesting aspects about the Psychogun, as you can see here, after he fires it, he can just curve the shot in his mind, and this is like a laser. Like this is stated to be like a light beam that he's like making out of his mental energy. So this is like a faster than light like thing that he's doing here. And the way he could like fire multiple shots off, control them all with his mind there, I think provides a lot of potential interesting like fight animation to to this. And one of the most interesting aspects I think about this matchup involves the spaceships. So with previous like mecha and like spaceship battles in the series, one of the main things is obviously it's just the characters in like the mechs fighting each other, because it wouldn't make much sense for the characters to fight outside of the mechs unless they were like capable of doing so, like Simone, right? But with Harlock and Cobra in mind, the Arcadia has this really cool like feature called the anchor tube, which allows him to just like harpoon the enemy ship, and then he like goes into the command post and then assassinates the leader and then blows up the ship so they can't like fight back, since they're all in disarray from their leader like getting killed. So how I think this would play out is like you started off as a ship battle. You have the turtle fight the Arcadia in a ship battle for an extended period of time. You have the anchor tube like hit the ship. Then you have Harlock try to like kill like Cobra with his like gravity saber there, and then you transfer it into a 1v1, right?
Right.
And then you can transfer like it back out to a ship battle, because like the best way I think you can go about this is you use the fact that the turtle can survive in a star and force the Arcadia to ram the turtle into like the sun. It's like a crescendo of like, oh, the music thinks it's dying down because they got beaten, and then he pops out of the star standing on like the spaceship, and he fires at the Arcadia with the Psychogun, because it's totally capable of like damaging it completely, since they're both around planet level. So, and there's like, and I think I don't have the moment listed here, but it would be like a cool reference to the final battle in the Space Adventure Cobra manga. So, yeah, like
we do have to go in a couple minutes, so like final points. Sorry to rush you, but yeah, we got to go in a couple minutes. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have this little animation here. It's not finished from Maple Riot, showing off like the anchor tube thing. I hope you guys can like hear it.
Yeah. That's something I was going to mention. I feel like that era
music
like,
is
Japanese jazz is like the reason I would want to do this matchup is because these computer soundtracks.
Yeah, that music specifically is from Space Adventure Cobra.
Yeah.
Harlock's music is more operatic. It was literally like all the music is like orchestra theme. So like if this is like a space opera thing, so making like it super jazzy or like super orchestral is like such a big boon. Also, I made this thumbnail here. You can see the little. I'm really proud.
Good one.
Yeah, it's good.
Solid.
Okay, and for I guess the final point that I think is funny. Like, obviously, I'm talking about the battle a lot, but there's more to a battle than just like the battle. For a death battle video, there's also the analysis, and I think Harlock could have one of the funniest like analysis of all time. So, like, I talked about how like his like Harlock's like is basically responsible for so much stuff. One of the funniest ones that he's like, one of the funniest things that he's like caused to exist is Daft Punk. Like the music band Daft Punk would not exist if not for Harlock. This isn't like a one-off fact. They've stated this in interview. I have the manga like beside me, and on the back it says like Daft Punk like loves this, like pretty much something along those lines. So an analysis, like a cutaway gag with Daft Punk, like maybe like Wiz or Boomstick are like Wiz being like super into Daft Punk because he's like a tech nerd, so he'd be into the robot stuff. I think would be really funny. And then you could also have like something like this scene from Super Robot Wars where where Spike Spiegel's like, I don't think I can beat you because he's like going after Harlock's bounty, and I think that would be like really cool. And yeah, I think that's about it. This was the thumbnail.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really fun. It seems kick-ass, like you said. It's a great anime legacy one.
Yeah, I made
not a lot to say besides great.
Yeah, I think that's like
Very cool.
everything. So do you guys have like any questions like or concerns about?
No, honestly, it just seems cool. Like I want to do it for the music alone. I think the style of
Truly.
this era of anime is great. So it'd just be
I'd
fun.
like to explore, 70s anime, you know, stuff that.
Have we ever
like,
done
I'm
Space
familiar
Pirates?
with.
No, I don't think you guys
No.
have. You've done like Gundam. You've done like
Space
sometimes.
Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing
Yeah,
is,
it'd be sick. Seems
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, like the yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything. Like I've come to like a conclusion. Any other like questions you guys have?
No, I mean it's great. Just last one more time. Thanks so much for supporting the Kickstarter. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is a great
Thank you.
pitch. We gotta hop to the next one, but this is fantastic. Yeah, like it a lot.
All right. Yeah.
All right, you have a good day, man.
Yeah. You too, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day, fellas.